Hello, everybody. It has been a while since I recorded something on diving, but I did get to do some very cool diving about a week ago. So while it's still fresh in my mind, I like to describe to you my experience diving in the Great Barrier Reefs in Australia. Amazing. It was in my bucket list for many years. The challenge there is not how deep you're gonna dive or the currents or actually awesome, super easy dive, but getting to Australia, unless you live around there, it's kind of challenging. So after more than 10 years, I got a chance to go back for business. So I had to spend a couple of days in Melbourne and then went to Sydney. And then, of course, I extended my trip beyond just business to Cairns. So if you are thinking about diving the Great Barrier Reef, as always, as pretty much every single episode that I've recorded, I'll try to give you some tips how to get it done. I had to do my research, didn't know how to get there. So there is a town called Cairns. Cairns, and I butcher the name of the time I say it. So Cairns is one very good spot if you want to go diving Great Barrier Reef. There's a lot of infrastructure. Super cool town, by the way. Great restaurants and everything. Atmosphere is awesome. Nice hotels, good selection of hotels. You can options, so you can find whatever suits your budget. The other one is Port Douglas, also another sort of gateway to the Great Barrier Reef. When I was doing my research, I found out that Cairns was it was easier in terms of getting into a flight, and from Sydney. You can do it from Melbourne, from other parts of Australia, but the airport is really nice, reasonably sized airport. And easy to get to, right? So once you're there, kind of a small town, get an Uber, hotel. I do recommend, of course, you book everything in advance. Again, as always, I am not paid by any of the companies that I use. In this case, I use this diving and overall snorkeling as well. And just if you want to go around, and visit the Great Barrier Reef, but you're not a diver, they offer sort of great options. It's called Divers Den. Again, super good team of guides and divers with good experience. And they will take you to the good spots. Of course, they dive there every day, so they know where the fish is, and that helps. So again, there he goes. This is sort of, if you happen to be in Australia, if you manage to get there, definitely worth it. It's about a 3.5 hour flight from Sydney to Cairns. And then once you get there, it's really easy. Boat is amazing, at least for this company. And I saw other similar, diving and snorkeling companies with great boats and look like to have the same great infrastructure, with lunch. It is a whole day gig, so expect 8 hours. We left at about 8:30 a.m. Came back at 4ish. So it's 8 to 10 hour gig. I did 3 dives. There were not many divers actually. There were probably like 40 people on the boat and 6 divers, right? But it is what it is. I was happy, right? Better to have fewer divers than a bunch of people in the water. A lot of them were just snorkeling, most people. And some people are, of course, seasick, so they're not doing anything. But again, 3 spots. I did it for about 45 minutes each dive. No nitrox needed, no anything like that. They're not very deep. I mean, the deepest, I think, that we went in the first dive, it was about 18 meters. So not that deep, super safe. Water is, of course, amazing. Sea life is also amazing. The corals, at least in that part, I hope the rest of the barrier reef looks like that, or at least, comes back. As you know, a lot of it is dying, it's been dead for a while or bleached. but beautiful corals. And again, super cool experience. One thing, another tip that I got, because I really liked it. Was it my best diving ever? Nope. If you listen to the episode about the blue hole in Egypt, that was really so far number one for me. I still have to go to Indonesia and a couple other places to check it out, but so far that will be like my second, third, maybe third best diving. However, when I was talking to the guides, they told me if I really want to experience the Great Barrier Reef, and this is I think a cool tip that I couldn't find. I didn't even find anything specifically about it on the web when I was doing my research before going there. I should take a liveaboard, right, and sleep over, at least one night via boat to the north of the Great Barrier Reef. There are 10 reefs. They're called ribbons. Ribbons 1, 2, 3. It's actually by number 3, 4, 5. And if you hit those, and this is why you need to hop on a liveaboard. Typically, you do one diving, typically a check dive or something like that, and then you sleep overnight and you wake up in one of those, in the first ribbon, and then it comes down. There's an option. There's a tiny island there, and I forgot the name now, but with a tiny airport. And if you want to not take the boat, because it will take another day or so to get back to Cairns, you can actually fly. It's like a 30-minute fly with one of those small airplanes that I fly. And altitude is not an issue because the dives are super shallow again. But that's what they told me is the best spot for the Great Barrier Reef. You get the whales coming, you get everybody coming, right? It's right at the tip. So that's next on the list. Great Barrier Reef, amazing, check. But there is more to be explored. And hopefully I'm going to get back to Australia for business very soon. And I'll try to extend. It's going to be an extension of 3 more days just to do those reefs up there. But, if I can negotiate with my wife, probably I can do it in my next trip. So here it goes. Couple tips for you guys about diving the Great Barrier Reef and the experience overall. Again, amazing. I think it was probably even more amazing maybe 10, 15 years ago when the corals were more vast and more colorful. I did see some bleaching, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I think there's a lot of people there too helping to repopulate the coral with the coral farms. So that's also very, very cool initiatives happening. So that's it about Great Barrier Reef and diving there. I hope I helped some of the folks who want to do it. See ya.